What is up, guys? I'm back doing another commentary video. I managed to get a 129 streak on Diverse World No Move. That's good enough for third place, world record on Plonket. So I'm just gonna do a quick commentary over this. Probably gonna split this up into two videos, half and half. So we'll try to get through about 65 today, and then I will post the other video in the upcoming days. So enjoy. Alright, so here we do see a bollard here. We also have no antenna on the car. So that tells us a couple things that we are most likely not in Europe with this bollard. Also, the no antenna is also pointing me towards the US and Canada. And with this bollard, it should be the US. I haven't really seen these kind of stick kind of bollards in Canada. So pretty easy US here, I think. And we just go somewhere around Idaho. All right, and this one we do have the white car with the high red bumper, as you can see. Let me scroll back a little bit. I'll try to pause it on the car there. Yeah, so we do have this car here where you can see the tail light riding up onto the car, and that's a car that you're going to find a lot in Mexico and Brazil. You can see it in Colombia and Ecuador too sometimes, but it's very rare that you can see the back of the car in those countries. This one looks like Brazil. We have the standard red dirt. So pretty easy Brazil here. I think it's just Mato Grosso, which makes sense. This one I see a Waitrose, which I think is specific to the UK. Not sure if Ireland also has it. But we also see the yellow back plates on that bus there. We are driving left, so we should just be in the UK. I go for Scotland here, and it's Newcastle, so not very close there. This one, I had to decide between Sweden and Norway. That's just because we are in Generation 4 coverage, and if we are in and we have Nordic architecture, and if we're in the Nordics, it's pretty much between Sweden and Norway. Doesn't really strike me as Norwegian until I see that letter, the O with the little slash through it. That's a Norwegian letter, so we are in Norway. You can get that letter in both Norway and Denmark, but Denmark in no way, although it has Gen 4, in no way it would look, have that many wooden houses, look in that way, kind of hilly as well. So pretty easy Norway there. This one, immediately you can see the tie pole there, square, with the holes in it. This one's a pretty easy Thailand, I would say. Concrete roads as well. And we have the the light there, which was also a Thai light. This one here, we just can NMPZ this one because we have Icelandic bollards. Those yellow bollards are Icelandic. And then this one, we can see the red back of the car here. And that is a thing in both Belgium and Ukraine. Very rare that you can see it in Belgium, but I have seen it occasionally. But this is clearly Ukraine. We have massive bollard spam here and a very green-looking, lush surroundings. This one looks like the UK again, and yeah, we confirm it there with that yellow backplate. We are driving on the left as well, and we have English. It was Northern Ireland there, so a little bit of a close call, but still counts for the UK. And this one, we do see some what looks to be, I thought initially those were Spanish bollards, and we were just looking at it from the back. But then I realized the bus had a yellow plate on it, and we had a long antenna as well, and yellow outer lines, which I didn't initially notice. So we should, all those point to Israel. So we're in Israel there. This one looks like pretty green, but a lot of eucalyptus trees as well. And we have the Australian bollard, so we are just in Australia. I think I go for a nice Queensland guess, and it's outside Sydney. It's kind of hard to get those states down if you don't practice them all the time. This one here, we have the double yellow lines, which is usually associated with the U.S. I have seen it a lot in both Quebec and Ontario occasionally. But this is stereotypical looking US. We have green road signs. We have the US flag as well there, which kind of helped me make my decision. I was considering Quebec there, but it just ended up being Vermont, so that was cool. This one we can NMPZ. Pretty clear Ghana here. We have some palm trees, so we should be closer to the coast. I don't think I really guessed close to the coast, but yeah, here we go. And we're actually on the right side of the lake there, so I guess that makes sense. We're closer to water, palm trees. This one, we do have these poles here, and these trident-like three-prong poles, three-tipped poles, I guess. I never know what to call them. With the black car here, should equate to Uruguay. These are Uruguay pole tops here. That's a good way to distinguish Uruguay from Argentina. If you see these tops, then you are almost certainly in Uruguay. Also, we have a dirt road here, which is pretty common in Uruguay, not so common in Argentina, where the coverage is mostly on paved roads. So all those factors add up to Uruguay. And this one, we do have this yellow sign here, and that is a Swedish sign. And also, we do have these short dashes on either side. I'm sure you guys know that by now. With the long antenna, all of those things point towards Sweden. So we can NMPZ this one as well. This one here, also an NMPZer. We do see the car mirrors. And with the hilly, greenish landscape here, we should be in Guatemala over things like Laos and other places that have this car. Kyrgyzstan as well. Kyrgyzstan would never be this green and hilly. So it is just Guatemala here. So pretty easy NMPZ one there. We are on 15. And here we go with this one. This one, I think I NMPZ'd this one as well, so you can see this black sticker here, which does indicate that we are in Malaysia. Black sticker with white writing on the poles means we can only be in mainland Malaysia. That is only a mainland Malaysia thing. So, didn't NMPZ it, just panned around just to be sure. I was a little bit confused by the faded sticker, but yeah, we just end up setting mainland Malaysia, and it was correct. This one here, I had to think about for a little bit. We don't have front plates on the cars there. But yeah, we do see these bollards that I talked about in round one, which looks more like US bollards to me. No front plates with this landscape where the trees look pretty cold, environment looks pretty cold. Should be Michigan. Probably one of the only states in the northern part of the US without front plates. Yeah, I just kind of went with it here. I was pretty sure that it was Michigan with the rumble strips in the middle as well, which is a thing you usually see in the US. So these rumble strips on the center line, usually something you see more in the US than in Canada. So all those factors made me go Michigan here, and I guessed in the main part of Michigan, and it ended up being on that little peninsula attached to Wisconsin. And this one here, we see the black sticker again, so we can easily go mainland Malaysia again. This one here is a little bit weird. We do have the outer short dashes, but this one is actually not Sweden because of the bollards and the architecture, I guess. So the bollards there you can see are yellow, and that is something that is associated with both Latvia and Estonia. But Estonia gets these dashes. I don't think I've really seen this in Latvia, the outer dashes there. So we should just be in Estonia here. It takes me a while because I look at the sign in front of us for a sec. Maybe we'll show it again. Yeah. So this sign here, the thicker red border on these triangle signs you'll see in Latvia, and then in Lithuania and Estonia, the red border will be a little bit thinner. That's just something that you'll get used to. If you don't know the thickness of the border, it's just something you pick up after seeing Latvia versus Lithuania and Estonia signs. So all those things equate to Estonia, so we just go Estonia there. All right, and then this one looks like a pretty easy Turkey. We have no antenna, and these poles are exclusively Turkish. These ladder-looking poles. So all those things equate to Turkey. Pretty dry landscape as well, which makes sense for Turkey. And we're just on the border of Syria there, I believe. So, and then this one actually is a little bit of a complicated one. I think I've lost a streak on this one before. actually. So we are in low cam here, which is something that you'll usually associate with either Switzerland or Japan. But you'll notice that this car's license plate is black, and that is actually a thing that you get in Liechtenstein. So I believe I saw the low cam here on one of my streaks, and I just immediately slammed Switzerland just because of the architecture. The landscape looked very alpine, and it ended up being Liechtenstein, so I kind of learned from that mistake, and we corrected that here, and we went Liechtenstein for in Balzers. I probably could have 5K'd that one if I looked for the road, but I was just too lazy there. This one, pretty easy, Sweden. We have the dashed outer lines again. These reddish tinged roads are actually very common in Sweden as well. You can get it in Åland, which is actually belongs to Finland, but this one just looked very Swedish, as well as we do have the long antenna, which we can associate with Sweden. And what are we on now? 22. Okay. So we're 1/3 of the way there for this video. This one, we do have Generation 2 camera. Very flat, plains-looking landscape, so we should be in Canada with the camera, as well as these non-metal signposts you will see a lot more in Canada over the US. That's somewhat of a fake meta that I've used, and it seems to work out pretty well, about 80 to 90% of the time. So obviously I go Manitoba here, land of the lakes, swampy marshlands, I have no idea. I think we ended up being in Saskatchewan there, so. This one, we NMPZ'd because we can see the French flag colors on the front of the car there. Blue, white, and red, and that'll equate to Sri Lanka, because we are driving left as well, so pretty easy Sri Lanka there. And this one, we can see the HR here, which is a sticker that you only get in Croatia. I'm not going to try to pronounce what HR stands for, but it's something Republic, and basically that is another name for Croatia. We also have the all-white license plates, no EU strips, which means we're in Croatia. I try to look for the right town here, and it just ended up being a little bit further inland. I thought we were more coastal, but after seeing that mountain behind us, we clearly were not. So I didn't turn around. I probably should have. This one here, we do have these ladder poles. Not the same ones as the Turkish ones, but we do have painted bottoms as well, which should be Romania. The roads and the general dryness of the trees and stuff lead me towards Romania as well, so. Ended up guessing on the wrong side there. This one's a pretty easy slam of South Africa. We do have yellow outer lines, white inner lines, and we are in Generation 2 camera because we have the ring up here. And in Africa, if we are driving on the left, and, you know, just in general, Generation 2 camera, only in South Africa, in Africa. So this one is an easy send. And here we do have a interesting blur. This is a blur that you'll see on sometimes a Senegal car, but mainly in Nigeria. I turn around just to make sure, because I actually want to get the right city here. And I believe, for some reason, I don't recognize which one the follow car is. I think it might be behind this white van. But it just generally looks like Lagos. So I ended up changing my guess to outskirts of Lagos, and we were on the, like, more of the outskirts, so. And this one here was a little bit interesting. We do see a couple minarets here, which would signify that we are in Turkey. We also have no antenna. And I believe this hazard sign for some electrocution sign should equate to Turkey as well. Turkey also has very thick poles. So all those things made me think that this was Turkey. And it's up to 29. And here we see a sign that says US Creek Road. So we must be in the US, and judging by the landscape with the trees, our landscape looks very cold as well. We should just be in Alaska. Did not know where in Alaska, but I decided to trust the sign there. And the double yellow lines in the middle, and we ended up going Alaska near Anchorage, I guess. I just randomly plunked. And it ended up being closer to Fairbanks, so fair play there. We're on the 6. And this one here looks like Turkey again. We see some Turkish language. I think that's a Turkish bollard there as well. And then these brown signs pretty common in Turkey as well. So all those factors, I just went Turkey with the dry landscape. Pretty recognizable. Also, I think there was a Turkish snow pole there. Let me go back to look at that. Turkish snow pole here as well. So all those things, obviously, Turkey. And we are up to 31. All right. And this one, we see some German here. So with these bollards, these black topped bollards, you can only get those in sometimes Serbia, but the reflector will most likely be off center in Serbia. And you also wouldn't have antenna in Serbia. So this is between Slovenia and Austria. And with the German, it's going to be Austria because Slovenia obviously does not speak German. They speak Slovenian, so easy Austria there. And this one, we just NMPZ'd. Low cam here. Some Japanese on the sign. So we're in Japan. All right, and then this one here, it looks like we do have these squarish poles with the holes going up the side, and the concrete roads that I talked about in a previous Thailand round, so we should be in Thailand one more time. Apologize for the squeaking of my chair in the background. Tried to fix it many times, but it just doesn't work. This one, with the very dry, sandy-looking landscape, should just be Mexico here. Probably pretty close to the border, judging by the way that it looks and how bad the camera quality is here. But these chevrons you will get in the US as well. But this should be Mexico, just judging by the Generation 2 camera and these bollards here. So, yeah. And that black and white chevron thing, the reflector. Also Mexican. We were very close to the border there. Yeah, right on the border. All right, and this next one is just Australia. We do have the red-looking soil, long antenna driving on the left. You can tell because you can see the back antenna. And this should be Northern Territory. I scrolled into Western Australia for some reason. It's just more Northern Territory in Kakadu National Park. And this one, we do see this tape here on the back right bar of the car, and that means we are in Reunion, a French overseas territory off the coast of Madagascar. So I do a couple pans just to make sure, but we are just in Reunion there. So could have went France there, doesn't really matter. Anyway, this car, I believe I've spoken about it in previous videos, but this is a Latin American antenna, so you can get that antenna in Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, and Brazil. But with this dry landscape and, I don't know, this well-made railroad, I don't know, and the cactus, I pretty much defaulted to Mexico here. And it seemed like the widest decision. That also looks like a colored plate, which is way more common in Mexico because each state in Mexico has their own different design. So, and it just ended up being near San Luis Potosi. This one, double yellow again. We can see some nice houses there on the ridge. And yeah, no antenna, so we should be in either US or Canada. Just decided to go US here because I couldn't, for the life of me, think about where in Canada this could be. Perhaps Quebec or New Brunswick, like very hilly. But it really just looked like the US to me. Just some nice hilly area in Pennsylvania or New York, upstate New York. But it actually surprised me, and you'll see from this guess, it actually ended up being further south than that. It actually ended up being near Virginia. Was in Virginia, actually, in George Washington and Jefferson National Forest. Something like that. This one, easy Australia again. We're driving on the left again, and with this like dry landscape, and that's an Australian-looking sign. Not sure which state we're in. Not too good at that, but I think we ended up being in Victoria. No, we were in Queensland. Okay, all right, makes sense. Anyway, we move on. We're on 40 now. So this one we do have the short dashes on the side of the road with the long antenna. So easy Sweden here. Thought about it for a little bit, but yeah, we just go Sweden, and it was. And this one, we are in Gen 4 camera. It's a little bit grainy, and there's this weird blur. I assume that's for privacy laws, blurring that house. But yeah, all these things pretty much equate to Belgium because we do have red writing on the license plates there. And also on this sign here, you can see that Belgian cities will put the city that you're in as well as whatever street that is. So this is a typical Belgian street sign. So all those things mean we're in Belgium. Also, there's a lot of brick, which is pretty common in Belgian architecture. This one, I believe I scrolled past a, pretty clear Polish sign here. So these green signs with white lettering, and then the distance to that a particular town or landmark or lake or whatever is a Polish sign. So I was pretty comfortable going Poland here. And then this one just looked like typical Malaysia to me. I did a few spins, zoomed in on some signs just to make sure. But we are driving left because we can see the black back of the car there. But we do have a lot of oil palms. I decided to go Sabah. I think it ended up being near Cebu or Bintulu, so that makes sense as well. This one, we do have these black and yellow painted curbs, which you'll see a lot in Botswana, as well as this weird blur on the car, super common in Botswana as well. And with the dry landscape, should just be Botswana here. And that brings us up to 45, so. All right, here's the next seed. And so automatically we see a one-way sign here. If we're deciding between US and Canada because of the yellow middle lines here, I believe US is the only, out of the two, is the only one that has one-way inside of their one-way signs. I think Canada one-way signs just have the arrow. So I think we're pretty safe to go US here, and it just ends up being Louisiana, so. And this one here, we do see Via on the sign there, and that is Italian. So we just go pretty simple Italy here. Not really too much thought to it. Ended up being near Venice. This one, as you can see, we do see a black shade to this back of the car here, and that is the most common car that you'll see in Colombia, actually. I have seen it in Brazil a few times. I don't think I've seen it in Mexico or Ecuador. But with this antenna and the black back of the car, it should be Colombia almost all of the time. And I was confident enough to send Colombia because it didn't look anything like Brazil. And for this one, looks like we got another US-Canada flipperoo. But this one, with the state of the road, as well as the landscape, looking pretty dry. Obviously just lean towards US here. Couple tractors. Just in general, mailbox there. We have the water tower there as well. So just ended up being Nebraska. And this one just looks like stereotypical Turkey. So we have the two-lane roads, which are very common in Turkey. And we can see some Turkish bollards here. And then these metal contraptions are very common in Turkey as well. So, and we have a Turkish sign there as well. So all Turkish things. And we are in 50. Nearing the final home stretch of this video. This is actually funny because I actually had this one yesterday on stream as I was attempting. I think this was in Improved World though, or something like that, or maybe AI Gen. But anyway, this is Turkey. So we do have Generation 4 camera here. The picture is very crisp, but we also have this car with the antenna. And that's something that you'll see in Turkey, Bulgaria, and I believe we saw it in Australia earlier on the streak. So, yeah. But anyway, this is Turkey. I try to look for the right road between the two cities. And I gave the camera a little jiggle there, or the picture a little jiggle there, because I was like, oh, I know this round. I thought it was closer to Armenia, so that's where I ended up going. I was trying to find two cities to go between here, and that one kind of made sense to me, so I decided to put it there, but it ended up being a little bit further south. So I guess I'll never forget that one now. It's between Kosk and Ulusar. Apologies for my poor pronunciation there. And then this one we do have a black car, long antenna, as well as these bollards with the yellow there. And those are Spanish bollards. We also have the yellow guardrails here with the yellow reflectors. And that's only a thing you'll find in Spain if you are in Europe. So pretty easy one there. This one took a little bit more time, I believe. I think this is Malaysia because we can see the black sticker there. But for some reason, I take way longer to do a little bit more panning. There's a black sticker there as well. But I just had to make sure. And we are on the mainland with that black sticker. So, and this one pretty easy, Taiwan. I believe I've had this round at least 3 or 4 times. I always failed to put it in the right city. I mean, you can see I'm zooming in on Yuli here. And then for some reason I changed my mind and I go to the bigger city. I knew it was on the east coast of Taiwan, but I think it does end up just being in Yuli. So, and this one I got a little bit confused, just because of the yellow center line, and then I realized Thailand was an option. And in Thailand, you will see these chevrons on these very thick white posts with a single yellow center line. So, and we have Generation 4 camera as well. So all those things equate to Thailand here. I believe we are driving left, although it's a little bit hard to tell. I'm looking for some Thai poles here just to make sure, because I am on a 54 streak right now. But then I end up just trusting my gut and going Thailand. So it takes me a while, and it just ended up being near Myanmar, the Myanmar border actually. So a pretty interesting location there. All right, and then this one also looks like the US to me. We have the double yellow center line. And those bollards, as I've stated before, this one here, especially with the double yellow circles, I believe those are Wyoming bollards, although I don't know if that meta is fake or not. But these double yellow circles are Wyoming bollards. For some reason, the landscape looked way more north, like Wisconsin or Michigan. So I ended up going Michigan again, I think. Yeah, on the peninsula there. But with those bollards, it just ended up being Wyoming, so don't know what got into me there. And this one, you can see a yellow plate on that bike here, as well as the black back of the car that I talked about previously, and that should be Columbia. So we just go Columbia here. And then this one, probably my worst 50-50. Immediately, I think UK or Ireland. And it's pretty hard for me to place, but looking at the houses here, I don't see stereotypically Irish houses with the white and gray roofs. So the white houses with the gray roofs, more Irish thing. These houses look more British or Welsh, I guess. So I ended up going just England, and it was just England, so. And then this one here, we can see a hexagonal pole, I believe, which is something that you'll see a lot in Mexico. The road also looks more Mexican than any other Latin American country. And then just to confirm it, I do check out the sun pretty clearly to our south. So I just go Mexico here, near Mexico City, because it's pretty hilly around there. And it was pretty close to Mexico City. And this one I was confused a little bit by the blur. Guy getting into the car there as well, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, we do have the caution tape on the bars here, as well as the follow car, so we should just be in Nigeria. And I believe the car goes from Ibadan all the way to Abuja, this particular car. And this looked more like Abuja to me, because Ibadan is much more hilly, I believe, and it is just Abuja outskirts. And that's 60. So 5 more, and then I'll be ending the video, posting the part 2 later on. This one's just Norway. Super snowy mountains, very beautiful landscape. Just your typical Norwegian looking around. So pretty easy Norway there. And this one, we actually get another reunion, which is pretty crazy. We do see that tape on the back there. So we're just free to go reunion again. It's pretty interesting that we got 2 reunions in one streak. This one actually took a little bit longer than most of the other rounds. So with the Generation 2 camera here, I can narrow it down to coastal countries, most likely on the Mediterranean Sea, uh, with water to our north. So I had to choose between Italy, Spain, and Greece. Um, the rock walls made me initially think Italy, so you'll see me scan Italy first. I believe. I think I look up the coast of Sicily and Sardinia, because those are the two places that would most likely look like this and have those islands. So I look at Sicily first. Nothing there that I really see. I zoom in on all the entire northern coast. So I look for whatever islands we can see, and then this one as well. I don't really see anything that matches up in Sardinia. So I think I preemptively placed the marker in Greece because Greece um, just split up into so many islands, and it can just generally look like this, you know. So I think I do put the marker down in Greece, but I do a quick scan, one more pan just to see if I missed anything, and then I believe I go look at the northern coast of Spain, just to make sure that there's no islands that line up there. So I look at that one. That one doesn't really line up. There's no roads there. Doesn't appear to be like those islands are too close together as well. Quick scan. Don't see anything. So at this point, I was pretty sure it was Greece. So I just ended up sending that one. I don't know why I put it like in the middle of the mainland there, but yeah. And this one, we do have Generation 2 camera again with the ring on the top there. And we have a Canadian sign here, so pretty safely in Canada, and we are in Yukon. Judging by the Generation 2 camera and this landscape, these big-ass mountains, which are pretty common in Yukon, so. And then this one, we have a pretty simple tie pole, concrete roads here. So pretty sure we just send tie fairly quickly. And that takes us to 65. That will be the end of our video for today. Thank you guys for watching, paying attention, listening to me blabber on with my explanations. I will be back with another commentary video, hopefully within the next few days. So stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It would really help me out a lot. I really do appreciate you all, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.